I erased the vocabulary
Mhm.
accidentally. So I need to
Well,
do it again. Give me just a couple of days to finish it up, and then I can send it to you. Now we are going to watch one video every 2 weeks, so it doesn't become a massive amount of vocabulary, and we can finish the 7 questions. Okay.
okay.
So right now let's try with the first 3, and let's go through the video. Okay, let's watch.
Okay.
Okay, so there's this question that I've been asking myself a lot lately.
Before we play it, let's get familiar with the questions. No? Help me read it. 1, 2, 3, action.
What's a key criteria to prescribe ADHD?
Nice pronunciation. Let's go through this word.
Criterion.
Oh, that's singular. We are talking about plural.
Okay. Criteria. No,
Okay.
sorry. Criteria.
Exactly.
Criteria.
Okay.
Criteria.
Criteria.
One more time.
What's a key criteria to prescribe ADHD? What's the DSM? What are the 5 criteria established by the DSM to tell if you have ADHD? What are the 2 stimulants that ADHD respond to?
Why does everybody have problems with the alphabet? You know, A, B, C. Just think about the first letter of the alphabet. A, B, C, D.
ADHD.
Yes, that's correct.
What is an important criteria that can create a misdiagnosis in kids? Okay. Why is it harder to detect ADHD on women? How does the media stigmatize ADHD?
Correct.
Oh.
Vocabulary question?
I don't think so.
Great. So take a notebook, try to get some notes on question 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
1, 2, okay.
1, 2, 3, action.
I'm constantly distracted.
Wait. I wasn't listening.
My room is a mess. I cleaned this yesterday. And I keep forgetting my keys everywhere. Do I have ADHD? And it seems like a lot of people on the internet are asking the exact same question. But the thing is, diagnosis can be a bit tricky. And the ADHD community is divided into 2 sides. People who think ADHD is being overdiagnosed, and the people that think it's being underdiagnosed. A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life. And that's according to the DSM, a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders. And according to the latest edition, there are 5 big things that need to be checked off to determine if someone has ADHD. First, you need to show persistent patterns of least 6 symptoms from at least one of 2 categories. And these symptoms had to exist before the age of 12, be present in 2 or more different settings, interfere with your social, academic, or professional abilities, and not be, quote, better explained by another mental disorder. If you
Those are the 3 answers.
The first one, I think that is that it appears in the how can I say it's important in the childhood.
Yes, that's answer to question number 1.
Uh-huh.
Good, 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 good.
And the second that is I understood that is the manual to describe the different disorders, the characteristics, I think, of the different disorders.
Yes,
And there is the ADHD.
correct. Which is the part of the, that's number 3, right? Or what are you talking about?
I understood that DSM is something like a manual.
Yes, I get it.
When
Okay.
when a guy, I understood that a guy described the characteristics of the different disorders.
Yes, correct. Like ADHD, right? But it has a lot of, and you are
Uh-huh.
right. Mhm.
And it was difficult for me understand the 5 criteria, and I think that I got the first that is inattention,
Correct.
and then I heard something about the performance in the school, that one person get when they had ADHD, but it was confusing for me.
Okay. Okay. Well, that part can take an interesting time because there are 5 points and those 5 points are extensive. So don't worry about those. Let's see how far we can get right now. Let's go directly to number 1. What's the criteria to prescribe ADHD? Do you want to go with the strategy of verbs or do you want to go directly to the speech? Which one is easier?
Can you repeat?
Do you want to use the strategy of detecting verbs first or word by word directly?
Birds.
Okay, verbs. Let's listen. 1, 2, 3, action.
ADHD is being overdiagnosed and the people that think it's being underdiagnosed. A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
Chose?
Uh-huh.
Yes. I I heard chose, but I think that it doesn't match with the idea that I got.
It matches, but in a different way. It's a phrasal verb.
Sorry, teacher. I heard chose like something like select.
The past of
I
choose.
I confused.
Okay.
Yes.
Because of the microphone, I didn't catch the pronunciation of chose. But The word is show, definitely. Even though the
Mhm.
phonetic was very, very similar.
Show, show.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mhm.
Shows. Technically, the rest of the syllables phonetics were right, except the first one.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
I think that that is the only verb.
That's the only one. Actually, there are two. One before, and that's it. Okay, so listen again.
Is?
Exactly. That's correct. Mhm. Let me help you with the second one. The reason it is incomplete is because it's a phrasal verb.
Mm. Show
And
up.
exactly. Nice, eh? How did you know it was show up?
I know the phrasal verb, but I didn't catch in this audio.
Interesting. Okay, well, that's nice. Let's see in a moment why we didn't catch it. The definition that we are going to use, because there are many,
Mhm.
is this one, the second one.
Um, show up. Show us something up. To start to be able to be seen. To start to be able to be seen. Oh, yeah. To make something start to be able to be seen. A broken bone showed
Mhm.
up on the X-ray, and the harsh light showed up the lines on her face. Mm, and that's it.
And that's it. Do you understand how? I don't know how X-rays work, but I imagine like a Polaroid photo
Mhm,
that when the ink starts drying, the picture starts showing up.
mhm.
It's because gradually you can notice something. That is the definition of show up, and that's the one that matches with your answer to number one.
Yes.
Mm.
Mhm.
Now it's time to complete the sentence using these verbs.
Mm,
Okay, let's listen.
Hyperactivity. A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
Aquí, criteria for uh, for uh,
Think about the letters.
I remember hyperactivity
Okay.
disorder,
Okay.
but I miss one.
Yeah, we have the
Hyper,
H and the D.
yes, hyperactivity disorder. Okay. Okay. Can I listen again?
Yes. Two more chances.
A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
A key criteria for
Come on.
oh is show is no shows up in the early early Attention, attention.
Okay.
A key criteria for attention
Uh-huh.
disorder. No. Attention. What is the other thing? Okay.
It's a cognate. Do you remember what is a cognate?
Yes.
So it's a cognate. The word that you're missing is a cognate.
Um. What is I can remember the people always say tiene hiperactividad. Es
Ah,
hiperactivo.
uh-huh. But there's another, no? There's
Mm,
another that is very popular.
mm,
Yeah, there's another one.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, we need the third listening. Do you have any other word?
No.
Let's listen. Final repetition.
A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
It shows a very early period of life.
The final part is correct. Yes. Anything else?
I forgot again the word.
No,
Yes,
come
teacher.
on.
Maybe I have this disorder.
I cannot tell you that. I'm not a psychiatrist.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's out of my league. That's out of my area of knowledge. But that's okay. That's okay. Perfect. So let's give you a moment because Jessie is already here. Okay. Hello, Jess. Good night. If she's there.
No, teacher. I am
Hey,
sorry.
perfect, girl. Good. Good, good, good. It's time. Let's check. Well, the listening is so easy for you right now because Elsie gave you most of it.
Yes.
Okay. Did you have chance to watch the video during the week?
Yes, but only one time.
Okay. Well, let's then try to complete the sentence. Okay. First,
Okay.
before we go there, get familiar with the words. Read the words that we already have.
Okay.
Read it. Come on.
Okay. Okay. Criteria for attention hyperactive disorder is it shows a very early period of life.
Yes. Questions in the vocabulary?
Mm-mm. Not
Perfect. Then let's listen.
Attention deficit. A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
only deficit, attention deficit.
Okay. But give me complete ideas. Don't give
Okay.
me portions.
Attention deficit
Complete
hyperactive.
ideas. Ideas.
Okay. Criteria for
Okay.
attention deficit.
Did the woman say gay?
I'm not sure. I am not sure.
Uh-huh. So you need to That's what we talked about in the week. Pay attention to the pronunciation and sound. You know, don't read by letters. Don't read by don't read by letters. You know, don't listen and imagine letters. Listen and imagine sound. Okay, listen again.
Deficit A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder.
Action.
A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactive disorder.
Excellent. Hyperactive is incomplete.
Hyperactivity disorder.
Disorder. Perfect. Second part.
Is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
No, teacher, I just listen the same. It shows a very early period of time, of life, sorry.
Okay. The words that you are missing, try to identify what type of word do you need. Try to understand the sentence.
Disorder is
Uh-huh.
maybe an adjective after is.
What kind of adjective?
Disorder is adjective, an adjective.
And why an adjective?
Um,
You say that because of the verb to be, no?
yes.
That means that
Okay.
you are not understanding the sentence.
Hyperactive.
Check the question.
What's a key criteria to prescribe ADHD?
What is an important point to
Yes.
detect it? No?
Okay.
If you understand the question, you can understand the answers. A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is
Okay. And is the answer to the question.
exactly. This is the answer to the question.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. So if you listen to the audio, check how many syllables are between this word and this word. And that's going to give you a second clue. Do you need 3, 4, 5, 4 words? Or it's only one word? Or it's a comma? Or what it is? That is information that you can extract from the video.
Okay.
Okay, let's listen again.
Deficit A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
No, teacher. I was listening. It shows.
It shows the word that you listened was it.
Mm.
It was not is it.
It.
Before this it, there was another thing.
Yes, but I didn't understand.
Okay. Yeah, we need to work on your listening because the reason we are having issues with listening is the thing that we were talking at the beginning. We are imagining letters. We are imagining letters and we are transferring to Spanish. These two things are distracting us from the important information, word by word listen. The only way to make your speech grow from intermediate to advanced is understanding how the language is built from English, not from Spanish to English. Translation, you have, in this moment, you master translation. That's not necessary here. So translating the video to Spanish probably can help you understand, but that's not going to help you speak, you know? And it's very, very long. If you understand word by word, that's faster than translating to Spanish. The reason you don't catch this is because at some point you get lost. Or it's because it's a phonetical issue, or it's a letter alphabet issue, or it's a translation issue, but you get lost. You are not locating the word that you need to identify. Let's check one last chance, and I'm gonna play it slowly.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if you can catch it like that. 1, 2, 3, action.
Disorder is criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life.
Mm-mm.
You didn't catch it this time?
Mm.
Did
I
you get
only listen is shows. No, sorry. It shows. Um.
it shows?
It shows. And the next.
But it shows what?
I don't remember, but I remember I was focusing in is and it, but
Okay.
between is and it, but I didn't catch.
Okay, you didn't catch the word. How many syllables were they?
I am not sure. I listen like together is and it, but I
Okay,
am.
but isn't it is not together. There is a space there.
Mm-hmm.
That is a syllable. It's actually,
Okay, is a no.
that's incorrect. The phonetic is actually incorrect. But the fact that you detect a word, that's it. You detected a syllable, you detected a space, that's important. You don't know the word, right? But you minimum know that it's only one word. It's not 2, 3, 4, 5 words. It's only one. With one word, you can complete it. A key criteria for attention deficit activity disorder is space it shows. How can you connect these two words together? Try to understand the sentence. You don't need listening to complete this. It's just language, the way you speak.
I imagine like ill.
Ill? What is ill?
Sorry, I'm not sure about the pronunciation. Ill, like thick. I am not sure.
Like sick. Is sick. A criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is sick.
No.
Exactly, that doesn't match. And it is sick, it shows. That doesn't match.
Mm,
What is a criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder?
I say sorry, illness.
Is illness.
But
Similar.
I didn't listen. Illness.
First, exactly. Illness doesn't match because illness is 2 syllables. You know?
Mm,
And that's phonetically. Contextually, even less. Because a key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is illness.
No.
That doesn't match, you know, so that's impossible. So there's no way we can find this word. You need to check understanding and comprehension. A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows.
Okay.
Because this connector that is going to describe me the criteria.
Mm-hmm.
The criteria is that ADHD appears very early when you are young. This is the criteria, the second part, a very early period of life. This is the criteria that we are talking about. That's why you need to connect. Technically, you didn't need an adjective, you needed a connector.
Mm-hmm.
Do we understand why?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, be careful because this word, you didn't need the audio to complete it. If you understand the sentence, you can complete it yourself with no audio. But it's about understanding. This is the issue. Okay,
Okay.
well, let's go directly to the next one. Elsie, do you know the missing word?
Yes, I think so. A key criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it show up a very early period of life.
Close, very close. First, I show, you show, and it.
Shows.
Aha, watch out, you
Oh,
said show.
oh, sorry.
Be careful there. Of course, it shows up, but it's incomplete. Read the sentence, and similar to Jesse, understand the sentence and check what kind of word do you need.
At.
Yes, exactly. Naturally, you can know that the connector is at because we use the word at to speak about the specific times.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, when you talk about your history, you say, at 12 years old, I drank my first beer. I don't know. That's completely illegal, what I'm saying. At, at 18 years old, I drank my first beer. At 21 years old, I had my first job. I don't know. At a very early period of life, it's talking about age, and we use at to. While listening, you can confirm it.
ADHD question. People, that criteria for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of life. And that
You're saying at a very early period of life.
Yes. For me, it was very difficult to identify the dad after
Yes.
it because I heard that the girl only said, ah, it's ah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay.
that's according to
The reason this word is difficult is because sometimes American people, especially with a New York accent, they eliminate some phonetics. One of the phonetics that change a lot is the letter T, because sometimes the letter T sounds letter, and other times it doesn't sound. doesn't even sound. Especially with connector that. In the connector that, American people usually omit the last letter. Listen carefully, slowly, and you will hear a the or a dad, as if you were saying dad, like father. Dad. Listen.
Deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it
Is that
Is that, yeah.
almost as pronouncing dad? No?
it shows up at a very attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it's
But there, it's there. Because grammatically, contextually, and listening wise, it's there. It's necessary. I interrupted you, Elsie. Sorry. What were you saying?
No.
I thought you were gonna say something. But
No, I
uh-huh,
wasn't.
that's the reason we cannot listen to it very carefully, because if we expect the strong T, we are never going to find it word. It's an accent issue. That's pretty much it. So we can color in red.
shows up at a
The letter that is in T is the one that doesn't sound, and that's the reason we couldn't understand it. Actually, it's very similar to what happened to the connector T at. In the second section, the word at has the same problem. She doesn't pronounce the T.
for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is that it shows up at a very early period of
He said at a very, and that's the reason it's another problem. The transformation of the letter T. So phonetical.
Okay.
Let's try to find the answer to the second one. What's the DSM? Elsie.
life. And that's according to the DSM, a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Is according, send it.
You are saying the verbs, right?
Yeah, I think so, but
Well, the word is correct.
is according.
The word according is before the answer to the question. That's not part of the idea. It's this, and then it's another verb, and that's it.
Send it's also in the other part.
Shall?
Send. I hear send it.
Send it. No. No, we never use send it.
Okay.
Let's listen again.
Published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Doctor, bueno, use.
Yes.
Use it. Doctor, use it. Doctor, use it. Okay.
Eliminate it.
Oh.
But that's the one. Second repetition.
It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Huge guy?
Yes. Huge.
That huge guy. That,
Huge guy that?
yeah.
You are correct.
Doctors use. Oh, okay.
Final
Only.
repetition.
It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
Essential. At the beginning, it is an. Oh no, I forgot the order. Is an essential huge guy that doctors use. Oh,
You heard the word essential, and you are 85% right because it's essential, but it's not an adjective. What kind of word do we?
verb.
Incorrect. No. That's a different thing.
Mm,
Okay, let's
Only
give it a moment because Jessie is in the chat. Okay, hello, yes, good night.
Hello, teacher. Good night. Good night, yes. Will the attendance is here, Elsie? Hello, Elsie. Good night.
hello, yes, good night.
Thank you. And Jessie. Hello, Jessie. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Thank you. So, thank you to be here and see you on Monday. Have a good weekend.
See you likewise.
Thank
See
you.
you. Thank you. You too.
So, essential, what words can we take from the word essential?
Can you repeat, teacher? Sorry.
Sure. What kind of words can we extract or create with the word essential?
Essential. Well, noun.
For example,
Mm,
the condition is you heard in the video essential. So you cannot
Yeah.
remove a syllable. Do you agree?
Yes.
The way to change it right now is by adding syllables.
Essentially, no.
Yes,
Oh,
it's the word essentially.
essentially,
Do you remember we were talking about the last syllables?
mm-hmm.
That here was the issue. Okay. Let's give a chance to Jessie.
Yes.
Yes, you have 3 chances. Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
According to the DSM, a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
The doctor used to diagnose mental
Nice.
disorders.
Very good, but be careful. You said the doctors, and you clearly have that doctors.
That doctors use.
Yes, that's correct. Fits into that section, and you're right. Okay, I like it. Second repetition. So sorry, before we repeat, only one disorder? Yes.
Mm, I am not sure.
Do you think it's a huge guide for only one disorder?
No, disorders.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
If it's a huge guide, it's for many. Second
Okay.
repetition now.
Huge guide, a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
I am not sure about the beginning. A manual public association. I am not sure about the psychiatrial. I am not sure. Hi, teacher, I don't listen.
I'm muted, sorry. Yes, but that's the previous idea. That's not the answer.
Yeah. Okay, okay.
The answer is after that information. Do you have anything after that?
I listened criterias, but
You
I
cannot
am
listen
not sure.
criterias because criterias doesn't exist. The word is not
About the
criterias.
um
Did you read
how
the
pronounce?
no? Did you read the feedback that I sent you on WhatsApp?
Yes.
What did we say about criteria?
I don't remember.
Pay attention.
Um,
Take notes on the feedbacks. The word criteria is the plural
mhm,
of criterion, similar to what happened with child and children. It's not correct to say
mhm.
children's.
Yes, it's child and children.
It's child and children. So in this case also is criterion and criteria, never criterias. O sea, I mean, we never use the S,
Okay.
right?
Which is the plural? The plural
The plural is the second
criteria
one.
is just
It's Latin. There are some concepts derived from Latin that have these kind of exceptions. Another, for example, a good reference is the word bacteria. Bacteria is singular and the plural is bacterium, not bacteria.
okay.
You know?
Mhm.
So a lot of words from Latin have these things, and we are going to see that later in the noun formation, but that's the idea. Okay. Final repetition.
In addition, there are a period of life association. It's essentially
She disconnected. Okay. So Elsie, final repetition for you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors
Don't worry, she's coming. She's coming.
use association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
You disappeared, Jessie.
Yes. Sorry, teacher. I
Yes.
am in my cell phone and I
We lost connection.
went out.
Don't worry. Actually, the word criteria was correct. But be
Okay.
careful, it's not criterias. Okay?
Criteria. But it's plural.
But
Criteria.
it's plural. Correct. Final repetition. Okay, let's go.
The DSM, a manual published by the American Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
I only have is essentially a huge guide.
Nice. A what guy?
Huge,
But she never pronounced Hugh.
huge,
If you listen carefully, focusing on audio, you will hear huge.
huge.
Because the sound H doesn't exist in English. In the soundboard, you will see that the sound H doesn't exist. It's not in the language. Mhm. Huge.
Huge.
Okay, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much, Jess. Do you have anything else, Elsie? Do you have the rest of the words?
At the beginning, I heard it's
Exactly.
essentially.
The reason I didn't include that is because you said is, which is not incorrect, but it was incomplete.
Mhm.
And then,
It. Oh, sorry.
oh yes, continue. And then in the middle,
With
mhm,
it's essentially a huge guy with the that
okay, continue.
that criteria that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders.
The word that you're missing is bigger than the.
Oh,
It's actually 3 syllables long,
wow.
but it's only one letter, one word. Let's check if we can catch it. If not, I give it to you.
Okay.
Huge guide with standardized criteria.
With no, I hear with send it a
With send it. Ah, this is where you understood send it.
Yeah.
Phonetically matches a little, because there are 2 D's. So the word is a little bit more complex than that. If you are talking about rules and medicine and criteria, there should be a standard set of rules. Because if I need to understand the illness of a person, there should be a standard. If the person has this and this and this and this and this and that, and the person has this problem.
Alice.
If you have a list of, let's say, symptoms,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a symptom for I don't know, diabetes is this and this and this and this, and there is a standard list of symptoms that makes me understand as a doctor if the patient has this problem.
Mm-hmm.
The word standard can be transformed into a verb using a suffix. Standardize, which is supposed to be in the dictionary, but I lost it.
Oh,
And then after the transformation standardize, we can transform it into an adjective using the past participle.
Standardized.
I know.
Are
So it
you
was,
saying that there is she mentioned after with
yes,
standard?
there are 3 syllables between with and criteria. It's with standardized criteria. Listen again.
Yes.
Psychiatric Association. It's essentially a huge guide with standardized criteria that
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's clear. It's clear. It's not that hard.
it's essentially a huge
Sorry, what did you say?
Standardized. I heard standardized.
Give me a second D, because you understood send it. There are 2 D's. Standardized.
standardized.
Yes,
Standardized.
standardized criteria.
Huge guide with standardized criteria.
It's a huge guide with standardized criteria that doctors use. And that's
I noticed only because you mentioned it.
it's a difficult word. It's a difficult audio. Yeah. And you need to super understand the context of the video to finally find the word standard. You know, of course, DSM is a manual, it's a guide. We have an idea, and then we need to associate words like standard, rules, symptoms. So we can associate other words into the context. But yeah, it was not that easy. So thank you for coming. What we're gonna do is next Friday we attack the next questions 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
excellent, girls. Watch your videos, rest on the weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.
See
Good
you.
night.
Bye, guys. See
Bye.
you.
See you.